Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing good. And further, I hope you guys were able to solve the questions of study material. I mean, if you guys have any doubts in transportation industry or hospitals or costing of hotels, you guys can please post your queries. The rest will start with some other questions. So giving you a few minutes time, whatever the queries you have, you guys can please post your query. I have discussed in detail the questions relating to transportation industry, hotels, and hospitals. I haven't discussed anything related to courier industry, Ritika. One second, guys. So now let's start with few questions from study material. I request you guys to please open your study material. I request you guys to please open your study material. I'll be discussing few questions from your study material now. So I'll be starting from illustration number 9. I'll be starting from illustration number 9. This is relating to costing of ITs, information technology based companies. So let's start with illustration number 9, page number 12.35 of study material. Yes. One second, there is a query. Yes, it is related to service costing only, Ritika. So let's start with illustration number 9. Following are the data pertaining to Infotech Private Limited for the year 22-23, wherein salary to software engineer total 5%, it is 15 lakh. Salary to project leader 2%, it is 9 lakhs. So it means 4,50,000 per person. Salary to project manager, it is 6 lakh. Repairs and maintenance are 3 lakh and administration overheads are 12 lakh. So total five expenditures or costs are given, wherein 3 are related to salary, and the next is repairs and maintenance and administration overhead. Now, the company executes a project XYZ. The details of the same are as follows. The project duration of XYZ is 6 months. One project leader and 3 software engineers were involved for the entire duration of the project. Further, it is given that whereas the project manager spends 2 months' efforts during the execution of the project, travel expenses incurred for the project are 1,87,500. 2 laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each for use in the project, and the life of the same is estimated to be 2 years. So we can calculate the depreciation. You are required to prepare the project cost sheet. So in transportation industry, we discussed that we have to bifurcate the cost in 3 parts, that is fixed or standing cost, variable or running cost, and maintenance cost. Further, in the rest of the questions we discuss relating to hospitals, hotels, and any many more industries will be discussing. So किसी में भी कुछ भी bifurcation करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Straight away write all the cost. That's it. So let's start with illustration number 9, preparation of project cost sheet. So salary to software engineers, total 5 persons are there and their salary is 15 lakh in aggregate. So 3 lakh per person, and it is given that one project leader and 3 software engineers were involved for the entire duration of the project. So 15 lakh is given. This salary is for 5 persons. How many software engineers were working? 3 software engineers were working. So into 3, into the duration of the project is 6 months. So 6 divided by 12. Let me get my calculator also. 1 second. So 15 lakh it is for 5 persons. So for 3% it will be 9 lakh. And the duration of project is 6 months. So the total salary paid to the software engineer for the project is 4 lakh 50,000. Further, it is given the project leaders, there are total 2 persons and the salary is 9 lakh. Nine lakh is for 2 persons. For 1 person into 6 divided by 12. So this will be, I think, 2 lakh 25,000. Further, when talking about the project manager, it is given that the project manager spends 2 months efforts during the execution of the project, and there is only one project manager whose salary is 6 lakh. So this is all what about salary now. Now see, the other costs are given. That is travel expenses and depreciation for laptop. But before that, we will do charge the other overheads, that is repairs and maintenance overheads and administration overhead to this project sheet to calculate the total cost. Now the point is how. I repeat again, we have to charge some portion of repairs and maintenance and administration overhead to this project to calculate the total cost. Now the question is how. So see, these are the general overheads. Now overheads में हमने पढ़ा था कि जो भी overheads होते हैं उसको हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we do calculate the absorption rate, and that absorption rate is used to charge the overheads to a particular product or to a particular job to calculate the total cost of a product or a job. So herein also we will charge these overheads to this project sheet to calculate the total cost. Now, so what we have to do is we have to calculate the absorption rate. Now, say this information technology industry is based on skilled workers. So the best way to absorb overhead is what? To calculate the absorption rate on the basis of salary paid. I'm writing this for your reference. Since this industry is based on skilled manpower, therefore, we will absorb the general overheads we will absorb the general overheads on the basis of salary paid to the technicians. So herein my general overheads are 15 lakh, 3 lakh plus 12 lakh. My general overheads are 15 lakh and the total salary paid is 15 plus 9 plus 6. Into 100. So this will be 50%. So this will be 50%. Now, what it means that जो भी salary pay करते हैं उसका 50% क्या हो जाएगा, overheads हो जाएगा, and that will be charged to a particular project to calculate the total cost. So herein I have paid the total salaries of 7,75,000. I have paid the total salaries of 7,75,000. So 50% will be what? My general overheads. So this will be 387,500. Now we'll record the other cost also. That is the travel expenses incurred for the project. Now depreciation on laptops. When talking about laptops, it is given two laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each. So two laptops were purchased at a cost of 50,000 each. And their useful life is 2 years. So every year it will be divided by 2 into the duration of project is 6 by 12, that is 6 months. So the depreciation amount will be 25,000. So now this is all what about the cost data. So my total cost will be 13,75,000. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. One second. So here in Srinivas sir, why we have not added salary to overhead as it is a variable overhead? Yes, all these are cost only. But the point is we have to calculate the absorption rate. See, just say, suppose I'm the manufacturer of shirt. Now, what are the major elements of cost? Very simple, the fabric, the stitching cost. Now, so simply, when in case of IT industry, the major cost is what? The salary paid to the technician. So this is the key cost, the major element of the cost. So that's why we are absorbing, we rest all the other costs. Rest all the other costs will be treating as general overheads. And accordingly, we have calculated the absorption rate on the basis of salary paid. Because salary paid is the main cost in software or in IT industry. We have considered all the cost as overheads only. One second, Bhavna. Okay, Pranav, 1 minute. So see, I'm explaining these things again one more time. See, my total salaries are 7,75,000 for this project. So my total salary for this project is 7,75,000. Now, ये जो इंडस्ट्री है इसमें सबसे मेजर एलिमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट क्या होता है? सैलरी पेड टू द सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर. जैसे हम लोग शर्ट्स बनाते हैं तो मेजर कॉस्ट क्या होता है? मटेरियल, लेबर एंड ओवरहेड. अब इस इंडस्ट्री में कोई मटेरियल तो हो नहीं सकता. सो इस इंडस्ट्री में मेजर एलिमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट क्या होता है? सैलरी पेड टू द सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर. अब ये जो ओवरहेड्स है, रिपेयर्स एंड मेंटेनेंस एंड अदर ओवरहेड्स और जनरल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड, वी नीड टू चार्ज दीज ओवरहेड्स टू दिस प्रोजेक्ट टू कैलकुलेट द टोटल प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज हाउ. सो व्हाट वी हैव डन इज, हम लोगों ने क्या किया? अब्जॉर्प्शन रेट निकाला. अब अब्जॉर्ब किस बेसिस पे करें? इन जनरल अगर कुछ भी नहीं दिया है तो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ मेजर एलिमेंट ऑफ द कॉस्ट. सो हियर my general overheads are absorbed on the basis of major element of the cost. That is what the salary paid to the software engineer. So my major element of costs are what? Salary paid to the software engineer, that is 30 lakh. My other overheads are how much? 15 lakh. So 15 lakh divided by 30 lakh into 100. This is how I got 50%. So let me check now why we have not added. So Srinivas, hopefully your query is resolved. Dev Kumar, your query is resolved. Pranav, how did you get 775 for general overhead? See, 775 is my total salary. 4,50,000 plus 2,25,000 plus 1 lakh. This is how I got 775. This is my total salary. Now, of the salary paid, 50% will be my general overhead. General overhead means what? General overhead means what? In this case, the general overheads are what? My administration overheads and repairs and maintenance overhead. Rest the other overheads, that is traveling cost, depreciation, they are given separately. But what about the overheads that are incurred as a whole? So uske liye humne absorption rate calculate kiya. We charge these overheads. Now thereafter the overheads that are incurred separately, that is 187,500, 25,000 we have written. and accordingly we have calculated the total cost of the project. Salary paid to the technicians, or we can say software engineer. So since the industry is based on skilled manpower, so we will absorb the general overheads on the basis of salary paid to the technician. ये जो 187,500 है, 25,000 है, they are given separately. But what about these other overheads, that is repairs and administration overhead? They are incurred as a whole. So that's why I have calculated the absorption rate. Okay, Srinivas, a question from my side. What else? See, when talking about the cost given in the question, when talking about the cost given in the question, salary they have given separately, that this much salary is used for this project, be it of software engineer, project leader, or project manager. Further, the travel expenses are also given separately for this project. Depreciation is also given separately for this project. But my question is, repairs and maintenance and administration are not given separately for this project. They are given as a whole. So if we can we say that 775, 187, 500 and 25,000 is the only total, is the only cost for this project? No, because apart from this cost that are given separately, what about the general cost of the company? कोई भी प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं उसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं, apart from the major cost that are given separately, we do consider the general overheads of the company. We need to charge the general overheads of the company to calculate the total project cost. So see, these salaries are given separately, this cost is given separately, but this cost is not given separately for this project. तो प्रोजेक्ट की कॉस्ट निकालने के लिए हम लोगों को ये कॉस्ट भी इस प्रोजेक्ट में चार्ज करना पड़ेगा टू कैलकुलेट द टोटल प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट. I hope Srinivas now this point is clear. Okay, Tambeshwari sir, salary paid to what? It is written salary paid to the technicians or software engineer. Dev Kumar, hopefully your query is resolved now. It is not 30%, it is 50%. Yes, Srinivas, hopefully your query is resolved. And Dev Kumar, I request you guys to copy this explanation. That is more than sufficient. Rest the solution is there in the study material. Now let's start with the next question. Illustration number 10, costing of toll roads. So let's start with illustration number 10, page number 12.39. So let's start with illustration number 10. See, Dev Kumar, the point is we need to charge the overheads, that is repairs and administration overhead, to this project cost. Now, do you find any other alternative way to charge these costs? Because we can't charge 15 lakh completely, because this is the general overheads for the company for the year. When talking about the duration of the project, it is for 6 months. I mean, there are a few more projects that must be going on. So the best way to absorb these overhead is what, on the basis of salary paid to the technicians. Rest any other, there is no alternate way to charge these overheads. So the most appropriate way I have taken, and the study material has also taken. So now illustration number 10, BHG Toll Plaza built a 60 kilometers long highway and now operates a toll plaza to collect toll from the passing vehicle using the highway. The company has estimated that a total of 12 crore vehicles, only single type of vehicles, will be using the highway during 10 years of toll collection tenure. So toll operating and maintenance cost for the month of April are as follows. So the salaries, the data relating to salary is given, that is collection personnel total 3 shifts, 4% and 550 per day per person. Supervisor, it is 2 shift, 1 person per shift, and it is 750 per day per person. Security persons, there are total 3 shifts, 6% per shift, and it is 450 per day per person. Toll booth manager, 2 shifts, 1 person per shift, and it is 900 per day per person. Electricity cost for the month is given, that is 8 lakh. Telephone cost for the month is given, that is 1 lakh 40,000. Maintenance cost is given, that is 30 lakh. Monthly depreciation and amortization expenses are 1 crore 50 lakh. Further, the company need 25% profit over total cost to cover interest and other cost. You are required to calculate the cost per kilometer per month. Further, you are required to calculate the toll rate per vehicle. So let's start with the statement of cost. See, the examiner can ask questions on any industry. ऐसा कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि study material में जो pattern के question है, examiner is going to ask that pattern only. Examiner can ask questions on some new industries also. The key is what? Calculate the total cost, whatever the most appropriate assumptions, what you want to apply, you can apply. That's it. And whatever that is running in your mind, do write it as footnotes. That is what I have assumed, or this is all what my working. So कुछ भी दिमाग में चल रहा है, just don't keep it in mind. Write it in your answer sheet that this is what I have assumed. So the key, the most important part relating to this chapter is that you have to prepare a cost sheet. You have to calculate the total cost. That's it. It can be any industry. So similarly, let's start with illustration number 10. That is the solution of illustration number 10. Again, इसमें भी कुछ नहीं दिया हुआ. We have to simply calculate the total cost. So let's start with the calculation of cost. Let's start with salary first. So total 3 shifts, 4 persons. So in short, we can say there are total 12 persons. 3 shifts, 4 persons. 550 per day per person into 30 days. Supervisor, it is 750 per day per person. Two shift, one person. It is 750 per day per person into total 30 days. Next is security personals. Three shifts, 6 person, 450 per day. Next is toll booth manager. Two shift, 1 person, 900 per day. So this is all what about salaries. Now, sorry, electricity cost is 8 lakh. Telephone cost is 1,40,000. Maintenance cost is 30 lakh. Further, it is given that the monthly depreciation and amortization expenses are 1 crore 50 lakh. So this is all what about the total cost. So 1,98,000, 45,000, 2,43,000, 54,000, 8 lakh, 1,40,000, 30 lakh. So this is 1 crore. So it is 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000. So this is all what my total cost. Now, this is what my total monthly cost. Total cost for the month of April. Now, see, the question is asking us to calculate. You are required to calculate the cost per kilometer per month. So, cost per kilometer. So, the total kilometers are 1 crore. Sorry, the total cost is 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000. And the total number of kilometers, I think it is 60 kilometers. Yes, it is 60 kilometers. So the cost per kilometer per month is how much? 3,24,667. Further, the question is asking us to calculate the toll rate per vehicle. It is given that the company need 25% profit over total cost to cover the interest. So this is the first part. Now, second part, we'll calculate the revenue. So my cost is what? 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000. When talking about the profit, it is given it is 25% over cost. That is 48 lakh 70,000. So 2 crore 43 lakh 50,000. This is my total cost. Now see, we have to calculate the toll rate per vehicle. So this is what my monthly expected revenue. So the number of vehicles per month also we have to calculate. So it is given that the company has estimated that the total of 12 crore vehicle will be using the highway during 10 years. 12 crore vehicles for 10 years. So for 1 year, we will get 1 crore vehicles. Into 1 month, it will be 1 by 12. So total, it will be 10 lakh vehicle. So toll rate will be how much? We want revenue of 2 crore 43 lakh 50,000 divided by it will be 24.35. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your query. Okay, so let me address the queries 1 second. Sir, why multiplied by 3 when here given information of a complete day? In a day there is 3 shifts. So 1 second. See, it is given that in a day there are 3 shifts and 4 person per shift. It means what? Total 12 persons we are paying. So in short, we have recruited 12 persons and the salary 550 per day per person it is given. So into 30 days, Bhavna. I hope your query is resolved, Bhavna. Now, Ritika Gupta, why divided by 60, sir, in cost per kilometer? See, the total cost for the month is how much? 1 crore 94 lakh 80,000. And the question is asking us to calculate the cost per kilometer. So how many kilometer long highway it is? It is 60 kilometers long expressway. So the cost divided by number of kilometer, this will be what? My cost per kilometer. This will be my cost per kilometer. So the question is asking us to calculate the cost per kilometer, and the total distance of the highway is 60 kilometers. That's why I have divided it by 60. I hope Ritika Gupta, your query is resolved now. Tambeshwari, in this question, more which type of question? I think in this chapter you are asking. So mostly, I mean, examiner, see, earlier the examiner used to ask question on transportation industry most of the time. But these days, examiner can ask you guys any questions. Since the variety of questions are available in transportation industry, so that's why I have taken 2 sessions in transportation industry, because it is bit on the trickier side. The rest, all other industries, be it any other industry, you have to simply calculate the total cost. Nothing much to do. So how you calculate the number of vehicles? So Nayan Patil, very simple. See, total 12 crores vehicle will be passing on the highway in 10 years. टोटल 10 years में 12 crores vehicle pass होंगे. So in 1 year, how much? Very simple, 1 crore 20 lakh. It is for 1 year. So 1 crore 20 lakh vehicles in 1 year. So in 1 month, how much? 1 crore 20 lakh divided by 12. So accordingly, you will get 10 lakh vehicles. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? You guys can please post your queries. Good morning, Ankit Mishra. Raman Tambia, I think I skipped your query. I'm sorry. You can just check the recording part. Again, I have explained in detail why I have taken 50% of salary. So, Sanya sir, in part A, we are asked to find the cost per vehicle per kilometer. See, not actually, anyways. I mean, if you are, I mean, the examiner is asking, then you can do this. But herein in this question, the question is asking us to calculate only the cost per kilometer. See, Ritika Gupta, sir, please explain the courier industry concept. As you said, questions can come from anywhere. So again, in the courier industry also, sorry. So again, in courier industry also, the examine, I mean, see, we have to calculate the total cost of the company. Again, two factors are responsible, the kg and the distance. So, I mean, you have to calculate the cost per kilogram per kilometer. And accordingly, depending upon the cost, you have to just multiply it by kgs to calculate the total cost of the courier. So the concept is simple, straight away. See, Srinivas, the concept is very simple. When talking about every industry, see, there is a one key element. See, when talking about the courier industry, it can be on the basis of kilograms and the distance. So, kilogram and distance are the key. Be it hospitals, it is the number of patients. Be it the transportation industry, it's on the basis of passengers and kilometers. So, You have to just identify what is the key element of the industry and accordingly you can calculate. So the key element will be the units. So the total cost divided by my units. I can't take the questions of September 2024. I'm sorry. So Srinivas, see here and in this question also, in case of toll, we have to very simple. What we have to do? We have to calculate the rate of toll. So just identify the key element in the industry. So that will be the units. Right now, only the practical part, Hardik. That's it. Ankit, I'm there on the portal also. Sorry, I think initially I skipped your queries. You can post whatever the queries you have over the portal also, Ankit. And further, I think this is not related to service costing. Tambeshwar, you have posted a question, but this is not related to service industry. This is, I think, batch costing question. Okay, Hardik has put up a question. Sir, please explain the build, operate, and transfer concept. So, see, very simple, Hardik. Again, see, these projects are granted by the government. So, the government allows a company to build a highway, operate that highway, and collect the toll and earn profit, and then after a few years, return it back to the government. So, this is what we call as build, operate, and transfer model. Anything else, guys, from this question? I hope your query is resolved. So suppose if a highway contract is awarded to, let's say, JP Infra, then again JP Infra will build the highway, will operate the highway, will collect the toll, will recover their profit. Sorry, will recover their cost. Along with this, they will earn profit. And after a few years, let's say 20 years, 30 years, they again will transfer it back to the government. So this is how this model works. Anyone else, guys? Sir, in illustration number 9, project salary. It is 2 by 12, my dear. I think I have written, there must be some writing mistake in the solution. Ankit, it is 2 by 12. So let's proceed further, guys. So let's start with illustration number 11. Let's start with illustration number 11. I'm discussing illustration number 11 now. See, Hardik, again, government has simply awarded a contract to JP Infra. So they have to build the highway. They have to calculate the total cost of operation. They have to collect toll. Government, let's say this highway will be returned to government after 30 years. So 30 years, for 30 years, government is not bothered that how much profit you are earning or how much cost you are incurring. Simply you have to submit the cost sheet, a reasonable profit, and accordingly you can collect the toll. So let's start with illustration number 11. So AD Higher Secondary School offer courses for 11th and 12th. Standards in 3 streams. I repeat again, we are starting with illustration number 11. AD Higher Secondary School offers courses for 11th and 12th standard in 3 streams, that is arts, commerce and science. AHSS runs higher secondary classes along with primary and secondary classes also. But for accounting purpose, it treats higher secondary as a separate responsibility center. So there is a school who is running higher secondary part, that is 11th and 12th, and they are running the primary school also. And in 11th and 12th, they are running 3 streams, arts, commerce and science. So the managing committee of the school want to revise its fee structure for higher secondary students only. And the accountant of the school has provided the following details for the year. So there is a school who is running 2 parts till 10th and 11th and 12th. Till 10th, it's all jointly, all the subjects, and in 11th, 12th, they are running 3 streams, that is arts, commerce and science. And now the management is planning to revise the fee structure for higher secondary, that is 11th and 12th. So the cost data is given, wherein the teacher salary is given, that the total teachers are 25. They have recruited 25 teachers overall. Their salaries are 35,000 each. For 12 months, it is 1 crore 5 lakh. The principal salary is 14 lakh 40,000. Lab attendant salary, there are 2 attendants and their salary is 15,000 per month. Salary to library staff, it is 1 lakh 44,000. Salary to peon, it is 4 peons, 10,000 into 12, 4 lakh 80,000. Salary to other staff, it is 4 lakh 80,000. Examination expenditures, it is 10 lakh 80,000. Office and administration expenses are given, that is 15 lakh 20,000. Annual day expenses are given, that is 4 lakh 50,000. Sports expenses are given, that is 1 lakh 20,000. Now see, other information is given as regards the higher secondary and the primary and secondary section. So the number of students in higher secondary in arts, it is 120, commerce, it is 360, and science, it is 180. And in primary and secondary section, it is 840. Lab classes in a year, it is given. Number of examination in a year, it is given. It is equal for all the sections. Time spent at library, it is given. That is total for arts, commerce, science, and primary and secondary section, it is given. For the time spent by the principal for administration is also given separately. The total number of teachers were how much? 25 teachers, and the breakup is given, that 4, 5, and 6, that is total 15 teachers for the higher secondary section and 10 teachers for the secondary section. Now the additional information is given, whereas there is one teacher who teaches economics for arts stream students and also teaches commerce stream students also. So there is one teacher who teaches economics for arts stream students mainly, but it also teaches economics to the commerce students. And the teacher take total 1,040 classes in a year. It includes 208 classes for commerce students. Okay. Now next point, there is another teacher who teaches mathematics for science stream students, but it also teaches business mathematics to commerce stream students. She takes 1,100 classes in a year. It includes 160 classes for commerce students. So mainly she is recruited for science division, but yes, she also teaches maths to the commerce students. So the proportionate salary will be reduced from the science stream and it will be added to the commerce stream. In short, I'll be discussing this part in detail. Next point, there is one peon who is fully dedicated for higher secondary section. Other peon dedicate 15% of their time for higher secondary section. So in short, there are total how many peons? Just check. So in short, there are total 4 peons. So one peon is only for higher secondary section. And of the remaining 3 peons, they are dedicating 15% time to the higher secondary section. All the school students, irrespective of the section and age, participate in the annual functions and sports activity. Calculate the cost per students per annum for all the 3 streams. So again, very important, guys. The school is not concerned about the primary or secondary section. The school is not concerned about the primary or secondary section. They are just concerned about the higher secondary section, and they want to revise the fees only of the higher secondary section. And accordingly, the question is asking us to calculate only the cost of the higher secondary section, not for the primary or secondary section. See, calculate the cost per student per annum for all the 3 streams. 3 streams means हायर सेकेंडरी में भी कौन सा आर्ट्स कॉमर्स एंड साइंस. So let's start. It's a very lengthy question. So we have to distribute all the cost in 3 parts, that is arts, commerce and science. See herein, I just want to mention Srinivas. See herein, it's an education institution. So the major key element is what? The number of students. So we will be calculating the cost per students. So when talking about the tolls also, we have to calculate the toll per vehicle. So the number of vehicles are the key. So whatever the industry is, this funda is very simple. That is, calculate the total cost divided by units. The units may differ from industry to industry. So let's start. With illustration number 11, page number 12.43. One second, guys. So again, we have to prepare the statement of cost, wherein the first column will be particulars. Next, the question is asking us to calculate the cost per students for all the 3 streams. So there are 3 streams: arts, commerce, and science. So let's start with every point one by one. So let's start with teacher salary. It is given that total 25 teachers and they are paid 35,000 per month salary for 12 months. Now see, it is given that total we have 25 teachers, and the teachers for 11th and 12th are 4, 5, and 6. So let's start with the working notes also. Arts, commerce, and science. See, there are 4 teachers for arts, 5 teachers for commerce, and 6 teachers for science. So 4 into 35,000 into 12, 5 into 35,000 into 12, and for science it is 6 into 35,000 into 12. So this will be 16 lakh 80,000. 21 lakh 25 lakh 20,000. So this is the basic salary for the teachers. So 16 lakh 80,000, 21 lakh, and 25 lakh 20,000. Now herein, I have ignored the total column because of the space constraint. So this will be total will be 63 lakh. So this is working note number 1. Now very important guys, see herein 2 points are given in the question. That is, one teacher who teaches economics for art stream students also teaches commerce student. So let's start with working note number 2, arts and commerce. So there is one teacher who teaches economics for art stream students also teaches commerce students. The teacher take 1040 classes in a year. It includes 208 classes for commerce student. So there is one teacher whose salary is 35,000. For 12 months, her salary is 4,20,000. Now it is given that it teaches, it's an arts teacher. It's a arts teacher, but it teaches commerce students also. And it is given that of this 4,20,000, it serves, the teacher serves for 1,040 classes overall, but 208 classes are for commerce students. So 4,20,000 it serves for how many hours? For total 1,040 hours. Of this, it serves 208 classes only for commerce students. So there is an arts teacher. I repeat again, there is an arts teacher who is taking, apart from teaching arts students, it is teaching commerce students also. So 84,000 proportionate salary of that teacher will go to commerce department. So 84,000 it will go to commerce department and it will be subtracted from arts department. Because a teacher, it is recruited for arts department, but it is providing services to the commerce department also. And the value of such services is how much? 84,000. So 84,000 will be subtracted from arts and it will go to commerce. So reapportionment of salary. This is working note number 1. So here 84,000 will be subtracted from arts and 84,000 will go to commerce. Now see next point, that there is also one teacher who teaches mathematics for science stream. So let's start with working note number 3. So there is a teacher whose salary is 35,000 into 12, that is 4,20,000. What it is doing? The teacher is recruited for science stream, but it is providing services to the commerce stream also. So for commerce, it will be how much? Total 4,20,000 is its salary. And how many hours the teacher is serving? It is serving for 1,100 hours. In aggregate, of this 160 hours will go to commerce stream. So 61091. 61091. 61091. This is goes to commerce from science. So see, 61091. It 61091. It will be subtracted from science and it will go to commerce. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Anyone having any doubts or queries in this calculation, you guys can please post. Very simple, guys. In the first case, the teacher is recruited for art stream, but it is providing services to the commerce stream. So the proportionate value of the services to commerce stream is 84,000. So 84,000 will be added in commerce and 84,000 will be subtracted from arts. Second case, in working note number 3, the teacher is recruited for science stream. This recruitment is for what? Science stream, but it is providing services to the commerce stream also. And what's the proportionate value of services? 61091. So 61091 will be subtracted from science and it will go to commerce. That's it. So anyone else having any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. Sir, but these 200 are also given to art students. See, these 208 are, see, the teacher is serving, it is given in the question that one teacher who teaches economics for art stream also teaches commerce student, and the teacher take 1040 classes. See, the teacher is primarily recruited for art stream और उसका सैलरी जो है इसके अंदर इंक्लूडेड है, द 16,80,000, उस the whatever the amount that is paid to the teacher, the salary amount is included in art stream. So the proportionate salary will be reduced from the art stream and it will be added in the commerce stream. Rati Malini, just like very simple, working note number second and third are same. So very simple, the salary paid is 4,20,000 to the teacher. How many hours the teacher is serving? 1,040. Of this 208 hours they are serving to the commerce student. So 84,000 is the value of services that is served to the commerce student. First point. Now the teacher is recruited from for what? For art stream. So 84,000 will be subtracted from arts and 84,000 will go to the commerce. Similarly, again 61091 will be subtracted from science and it will be added to the commerce because the teacher is recruited for science stream. भावना जो टीचर है वो क्या कहते हैं ना, आर्ट्स के लिए ही रिक्रूट किया गया है. सी द क्वेश्चन, द टोटल नंबर ऑफ टीचर्स फॉर आर्ट्स इट इज 4, फॉर कॉमर्स इट इज 5 and for science it is 6. So the salary is already included in the above data. This salary includes this is the total salary of the teacher. अब इसमें से अगर कोई टीचर किसी दूसरे स्ट्रीम को सर्विस प्रोवाइड करता है तो व्हाट वी विल डू, we will subtract the proportionate value from that stream and we will add it to the stream where the teacher is providing the services. So this is all what about teacher salary. Now let's start with the next part. So next is principal salary. Those who want to copy this working note, I'll be erasing this part. I request you guys to please copy the working note. The solution is there in the study material, but I request you guys to please copy the working note. Now the total principal salary is 14,40,000. Total salary is 14,40,000. See in the question it is given straight away that the time spent by the principal for administration it is 208, 312, 480 hours and 1400 hours. So total hours it is 208 plus 312 plus 480 and plus 1400. So the total it is for 2400 hours. So per hour it will be how much? 14,40,000 divided by 2400 hours. So per hour it will be 600 per hour. So if they are giving 200 hours to the art stream, so 208 hours to the art stream into 600. So this will be 124,800. $187,200. $288,000. So total it will be 6 lakh. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Great. I request you guys to please copy these working notes. So we are done with the principal salary now. Dilip Devrala, see, read the question that the total hours spent by the principal, it is given 208 hours for commerce, sorry, for arts, 312 hours for commerce, and 480 hours for the science stream, and 1400 for primary and secondary section. So total it will be 2400, 208 plus 312 plus 480 and plus 1400. Now let's start with the next point. Ritika Gupta, there is no trick. Straight away, it is given in the question the hours that is dedicated by the principal. See, straight away it is given 200 hours, 208 hours they have given for arts, 312 hours they have given for commerce, and 480 hours for science, and total 1400 hours for the primary or secondary section. So I have distributed the cost in the ratio of the hours work. That's it. Straight away, there is no trick. It's a straight solution. Now, next is lab attendant salary. Now, when talking about lab attendant, see what's the information given. Lab classes in a year, it is only 144 classes for science and 156 for primary and secondary. Again, the straight away lab classes are given for science stream. So, see, lab attendant total salary. So, working note number will be 5th. The total amount paid to the lab attendant, it is 3,60,000. It is given in the question that lab classes are total 144 plus 156. That is 144 plus 156. So total 300 classes in a year. Of this, the classes for science stream, it is 144. For arts and commerce, there is no lab classes. So for science stream, it is 144. So 1,72,800. And it will go only to the science stream, that is 172,800. If you guys have any doubts in lab salaries calculation, you guys can please post your query. Now let's start with the next part. Lab technician, lab salary is done. Now salary to library staff. Now it is given in the question that the time spent at library by students per year. See, the hours are given straight away. So when talking about the 6th point, it is given that the time spent at library by a students per year, it is given. So librarian salary will be distributed in the ratio of time spent by students. So it is given straight away, that is total amount hours in library, it is 180 plus 120 plus 240 plus 60, total 600 hours. So salary to library staff, it is 3,44,000. One second, guys. The total salary paid to the library staff, it is 1 lakh. So this will be 43,200. This will be 28,800. This will be 57,600. 129. See, it is given straight away. That is the time spent at the library by the students per year. It is given 180, 120, 240, and 60, total 600 hours. So 1,44,000 divided by 600 hours. So the cost per hour is 240. So 240 into 180 for arts, 240 into 120 for commerce, and 240 into 240 for science students. So accordingly, we have distributed the librarian salary. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post. Very good, guys. Very good, Nitin. Very good, Rati Malini. Ankit Mishra, any doubts? Raman Tambia, any doubts, guys? So now library staff is done. Now salary to peon, it is total 4,80,000. So let's start with salary. So seventh working note, salary to peon. Now see, when talking about the peon, it is given that one peon is fully dedicated for higher secondary section, and other peon dedicate their salary 15% of the time for higher secondary section. So see, there are total 4 peon. Peon for higher secondary. See, there is one peon who is straight away working only for the higher secondary section. So one peon whose salary is 10,000 per month into 12 months. So 1,20,000. And other peons, there are 3 more peons. Their salary is 10,000 per month into 12. They are dedicating 15% of their time. So there are 3 more peons. Their salary is 30,000 in aggregate into 12 into 15%. So 54,000 salary, will be going to the higher secondary section. So total salary that will be distributed will be 1,74,000 to the higher secondary section. I repeat again, when talking about the peon salary, it is given straight away that there is one peon who is specifically working for higher secondary section. So his salary will be 1,20,000, and the other peon salaries, see, 15% will go to the higher secondary section. So accordingly, now this amount 1,74,000. Now this amount will be distributed in what? So herein no specific basis is given. So this amount will be distributed in the ratio of number of students. Because at the end of the day, peon is providing services to the number of students. So accordingly, since no information is given that how to distribute, so better to distribute peon salary. See, this amount will be distributed on the basis of number of students. So when talking about the number of students, when talking about the number of students, it is given that 120 for commerce, 360 for, 120 for arts, 360 for commerce, and 180 for science. So this amount will be distributed in the ratio of 120 is to 360 is to 180. So this amount will be distributed in the ratio of 120 is to 360 is to 180. So this will be 31,636. $94,909. $47,454. So this will be 1,74,000. If you guys have any doubts in the peon salary, you guys can please post. Yes, Ankit, any doubts, guys? Those who want to copy the working note, you guys can please copy. Yes, Hardik, any doubts? Ritika Gupta, Rati Malini, any doubts, guys? It's a bit lengthy question, so I'm discussing each and every point one by one. So why not taken 1500 in the peon ratio? So let me check what is 1500. Which 1500 you are talking about, Rati Malini? See, the total number of students when you're talking about it is 120, 360, 180, and 840 is for the primary and secondary section. So herein we are just calculating only for the higher secondary section. So that's why, see, this amount 1,74,000 belongs to the whole school. It is only for the higher secondary section. So that's why I have distributed in the ratio of 120, 360, and 180. The remaining 840 students belongs to the primary or secondary section, and in fact 1,74,000 is only related to higher secondary section. Now let's start with the other points. I request you guys to copy this explanation, those who want to copy. Ambeshwari, hopefully your query is resolved. I'm just following the instruction, even though the question is lengthy. Again, no need to get panicked. Step by step up question padi and start writing the solution. I'm doing nothing. I'm just reading the question and solving it step by step. That's it. So now let's start with the next part. See, salary to other staff, it is given 4,80,000. Now see, herein no information is given as regards the other staff. See, number of students are given, lab classes are given, number of examinations are given, the time spent by the library we have already considered, spent by principal we have already considered, teachers we have already considered. First point done, second point done, third point done. Now, fourth point, all school students, irrespective of the section and age, participate in the annual function. So again, this is nothing is related to salary to other staff. So if no information is given, better distribute in the ratio of the number of students. So salary to other staff, that is for this will be distributed in the ratio of number of students. If you guys have any other idea that this is more appropriate, you guys can please mention. But in my opinion, since nothing is given, so this cost will be distributed in the ratio of number of students. So see, the total number of students in the school are 120 plus 360 plus 180. So total number of students in school are 1,500. So salary to other staff 4,80,000 divided by 1,500. So the cost is 320 per student. So 120 students are for arts. So 38,400. This will be 1,15,200. So accordingly, 57,600 plus 115,200 plus 38,400. That is total 2,11,200 will go to the higher secondary section. Again, for this part, okay, again I'm erasing this part. We can mention working note number 8 or point number 8. So salary to other staff is distributed on the ratio of number of students. Now next point, examination expenditures. Now see, 10,80,000 is the total cost for examination, and the number of examination concluded are two. In fact, total two examinations are conducted every year. Now see, either we can distribute it in the ratio of number of examination, that it means this cost can be distributed equally, or alternatively we can distribute it in the ratio of the number of students. So both the approaches are correct. So when talking about the examination cost, it has been apportioned on the basis of number of students. Alternatively, we can distribute it in the ratio of the number of examination. So herein, the examination expenditures are 10,80,000. So this will be 86,400. It will be distributed in the ratio of number of students. So this will be 86,400. When talking about commerce, 360 students. So this will be 259. 259, 200. This will be 129, 600. Alternatively, we can distribute it in the ratio of number of examinations held. Office and administration cost also, again, since no basis is given or no additional information is given, again it will be distributed on the basis of number of students. So office and administration cost. So office and administration cost is 15,20,000 divided by 1,500 students. So this will be 1,21,600. This will be 364,800. This will be 182,400. So office and administration expenses are done. Now next is annual day expenses. See, some information is given as regards annual day. So all school students, irrespective of section and age, participate in annual function and sports activity. So again, this will be distributed in the ratio of 4,50,000 and 1,20,000. Both will be distributed on the basis of number of students. So annual day expenses and sports expenses. Annual day expenses and sports expenses both will be distributed in the ratio of number of students. So annual day expenses are 4,50,000. So this will be 36,000. This will be 1,08,000. This will be 54,000. So this will be 1,98,000. Similarly, sports expenses also 1,20,000 in aggregate divided by 1,500 students. So this will be 9,600. This will be 28,800. This will be 14,400. If you guys have any doubts or queries in this part, you guys can please post. Very good, Nitin. Very good, Mr. Sheikh. Very good, Nitin. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. So we have got the total cost, that is 208,7636. So this is what we have got the total cost for the art stream. So I'll be just copying it for the commerce and science stream. So for the commerce and science stream, 1 second, let me check the solution. I think it is correct. 34,32,000 and 34,62,764. Anyone having any doubts in this cost calculation? This is 8. This is 8. This is also working note number 8, and this is also working note number. Anyone having any doubts or queries in this cost calculation, you guys can please post your queries. Gurminder Kaur, sir, please explain again the lab attendant working note. So see, when talking about the lab attendant salary, see, let me check the question once again. So when talking about the lab attendant, see, it is given that total 144 and 156, total 300 classes are there for lab. Of this, 144 is for the science stream, and the balance are for the secondary or primary section. So primary and secondary section we are not at all concerned about. We are concerned about only the science stream. And so the total lab technician salary, it is 3,60,000. This is for 300 classes. So for 144 classes, how much will be proportionate? 170 to 800. Writing this also for your reference. The total lab technician salary, it is 3,60,000 for total 300 classes. So for 144 classes, how much? 170 to 800. There are no lab classes for commerce and art stream. I hope you guys are finding this question easy. I understand it's a lengthy question, but yes, just solve the question step by step. Read the question twice before starting with the solution and solve it step by step. Anyone having any doubts or queries, guys? So fine, I'm done with the cost calculation. Let's take a break of 10 minutes. I need a break now. So let's take a break for 10 minutes and then we will be back with the remaining part of the solution and we'll discuss two more questions on various industries. So let's take a break. Admin sir. Welcome back, guys. So I hope you guys are thorough with what I have discussed in this question. It's a bit lengthy question, but the purpose of this question is, the purpose of discussing this question is that is, it's not about only education industry, it's about any industry. The point is, if it is a lengthy question, read the question first in one go and then start solving the question step by step. Read each and every point thoroughly and then proceed for the solution step by step, slowly and gradually. So now we are done with the calculation of total cost. See, calculate the cost per students per annum for all the three streams. So we have got the total cost for all the streams. So divided by, if we divide by number of students, if we divide it by number of students, it is given the number of students are 120, 360 and 180. So we'll get the cost per student. So this will be 17,397. I hope this part of board is visible. So this is 17,397. This is 9533. $19,238. So we have got the cost per students now. That is 17,397 for arts, 9533 for commerce, and 19,238 for the science stream. So the first part is over. Now, second part, let's see what the question is asking us to calculate. So the second part, what the question is asking, that if the management decide to take the uniform fees, overall fees of 1,000 per month from all the higher secondary students, calculate the stream wise profitability. I'm erasing this solution because again the space is the constraint. We are done with the cost calculation now. Just keeping these figures for my reference. So statement of profitability. When talking about revenue, the revenue per student will be how much? 1,000 per month. So this will be 12,000, 12,000 and 12,000. And cost we have already calculated, that is 17,397, 9533 and 19,238. So we'll get the profit or loss per student. So there will be a loss of 5397. Here also there will be a loss of 7238 per student. And here there will be a profit of 2467 per student. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please ask. If we multiply it with number of students, we'll get the overall profit and loss. If we multiply it by number of students, that is 120, 360 and 180, we'll get the overall profit and loss. So this is 888, 120. So this is the overall statement of profitability. So the total loss will be how much? $106,2360. So this is the statement of profitability. That is the second part. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. It is not it's the overall fees. Uniform fees means overall fees of 1000 per month. In short, question कहना चाहता है कि 1000 rupees per month अगर fees charge करें तो स्कूल को profit होगा या loss होगा. This is what the question is asking. Anyone else having any doubts or queries? Now let's proceed for the last part, wherein if the management decides to take 10% profit on cost, compute the fees to be charged from the students for all the three streams. So no worries, guys. So arts, so calculation of fee, there are three streams: arts, commerce, and science. When talking about the cost per student, we have the cost per student, that is 17,397, 9533 and 19,238. So profit, we have to add 10% on cost. So profit will be 1739.7. So 1740 953. So this is the yearly fees that is to be charged from every student. If you want to calculate it monthly, you have to divide it by 12. That's it. So this is the yearly fees. So if you divide it by 12, you will get the monthly fees. Now, if you guys have any doubts or queries relating to this question, you guys can post your queries. I'll be addressing all your queries, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to post your queries. Again, it was a bit lengthy question. If it comes in exams, it will be of 12 marks approx. So the point is, the key is what? There is no new thing. There are no new concepts. There are no new concepts or separate concepts for every industry. The point is very simple, that you have to calculate the total cost divided by my number of units. So here in tall industry, it was what? It was the number of vehicles. So we calculated the cost per vehicle or the toll rate per vehicle. Here in the education industry, depends upon the number of students. So we calculated the cost per students or the fee per student. Similarly, in hotels also, it's cost per room per day. Hospital, cost per patient per bed. Transportation, cost per ton per kilometer or cost per passenger per kilometer. So the units may vary from industry to industry, but the model is clear. That is the total cost divided by my number of units. That's it. Statement of profitability straight away, very simple. The revenue per student is 12,000. That is 1,000 per month. So my total revenue is 12,000. My cost per student per month is this much. Sorry, my cost per student yearly is this much. So my profit and loss, yearly profit and loss per student is this much. If we multiply it by my number of students, we'll get the overall profit and loss. See, this is what the information that is given in the question, and I'm using the information only. That's it. Nothing more than that, Srinivas. Ritika Gupta, hopefully your query is resolved. Ankit Mishra, Raman, any doubts, any queries, guys? Anyone else? Hardik, Ajay, Sarthak, Gurminder, Sheikh, Nitin Prajapati, Tambeshwari, Rati Malini, Neeru, any doubts, guys? Dev, Dilip, Rosaline Pradhan. Illustration number 6. 1 second. Let me check illustration number 6. Again, it's a straight question only, dear. I have discussed this type of question, Manvi. So you can check the previous session. I have discussed a similar question. So I request you to please check the please check that question, Manvi. So now done with this part. Now let's discuss one more question. I'm discussing illustration number 14. The question relating to the generation of electricity. So we have to calculate the cost per unit of electricity. So I'm discussing illustration number 14, page number 12.54. I'm discussing illustration number 14, page number 12.54. I request you guys to please open illustration number 14. So prepare the cost statement of Ignis thermal power station showing the cost of electricity generated per kilowatt from the data provided below pertaining to the year 22-23. So they have so we have to calculate the cost per unit of electricity. So herein, when talking about the thermal power station, the key units are what? My electricity generated. So again, the same concept, total cost divided by my units generated. Now see, the operating labor is 30 lakh, repairs and maintenance are 10 lakh, lubricating spares and stores are 8 lakh, plant supervision it is 6 lakh, administration overheads are 40 lakh. Further, 5 kilowatt of electricity generated per kg of coal consumed. So for every kg of coal, 5 kilowatt of electricity is generated, and the cost of coal is 4.25 per kg. Depreciation charges at the rate of 5% of the capital cost. So we have to calculate the cost per unit of electricity. So let's start with illustration number 14. Again, straight away, the statement of cost, total cost. So operating labor, it is 30 lakh. Repairs and maintenance, it is 10 lakh. Lubricating spares and stores, 8 lakh. Plant supervision, it is 6 lakh. Administration overhead, 40 lakh. Depreciation, it is 5 crore into 5%. Five crore into 5%. So it will be 25 lakh. Now last, the coal cost. Again, very simple, guys. See, 5 kilowatt of electricity is generated per kg of coal. And the total electricity generated is 20 lakh. 20 lakh is the electricity generated. From every kg we generate 5 units. 5 kilowatts we generate from every kg of coal. So the coal required will be how much? 4 lakh kgs into 4.25, the cost of coal. So this will be 17 lakh. So total cost will be how much? 1 crore 36 lakh. Now see, we have to calculate the cost per unit. So divided by units generated, total 20 lakh. So 6.8. So this is the final answer. Again, no rocket science. The industry will change, but the pattern will remain same. That is straight away total cost divided by my number of units. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your queries. See, Apurva, total 20 lakh of the units are generated. And from every kg of coal, total 5 units are generated. It means 20 lakh divided by 5. 4 lakh kgs of coal is consumed. Into the rate per kg, it is 4.25. Srinivas sir, can you please discuss MTPs and RTP question? It will be more helpful. So Srinivas, whatever the questions I am discussing, it covers everything, be it past MTPs, RTPs. So I have covered all the variety of question. I just want to discuss the variety of question in the time in a time bound manner. So the point is, it's like while discussing these questions, I mean, I try to cover everything in detail. So if you will solve MTP, RTP question, you will be able to solve very easily. So don't worry, guys. Yes, Tambeshwari. So after these 4 sessions, you can easily solve any questions of study material or MTPs or RTP. Just try it. Still, if you find any sort of difficulty, I'm there. And further, the costing, there are 2 subjects, costing and financial management. There is no end. After discussing or solving 100 questions also, who knows, examiner can ask you 100 first question. So better it is stick to the concepts, focus on the concept, you'll be able to solve any questions. Hey, one more thing, guys. I have given a new question in example number 12 in my material. That is costing for clubs and libraries. So I'm just giving you the final answers. So at least try to solve and try to find these answers. So the first question is the cost of maintaining the library per year, excluding the cost of books. So answer for first, second, and So first answer, it will be 9,20,000. I request you guys to solve example number 12 on your own. The answer to the first question, it is 9,20,000. The answer to the second question, it is 76.67. The answer to the third question, it is 3,10,000. So these are the answers of example number 12, that is costing for clubs and library. I request you guys to please note these answers, first, second, third, A and B. The first question is that the cost of maintaining the library per year, excluding the cost of new books. So the maintenance cost per annum, excluding the cost of new books, it is 9,20,000. Further, for the cost incurred per member per month on the library, excluding the cost of new books, it is 76.67. The third question, they are asking us the net income of library, it is 3,10,000. Thereafter, the maximum number of books, it is 1034, and the excess books, it is 166. So this is the final, these are the final answers of example number 12. I request you guys to solve this question on your own. Sorry, actually, it is, this question is from past RTP. So I'm sorry that I couldn't get that answer. So don't worry, Vishmita. I'll be posting the answer of example numbers. I'll be posting the final solution of example number 7, or I'll write the answer of example number 7 in the coming session. I need to search that it is of which RTPs or for which MTP. So just give me one more day time. Hardik, I'll be posting the answers in the next session. So I request you guys to please copy this answer for example number 12. So guys, enough of discussion on service costing. We are done with service costing now. So the key is what, when talking about service costing, it helps us to calculate the cost per unit of service. Again, the funda is very clear. Apart from transportation industry, you have to simply prepare the statement of cost. That is the total cost divided by my number of units. So the cost concept will all remain same, but the point is units may vary from industry to industry. That is the key. Rest, there is no rocket science in this chapter. In fact, we can say that these are the bonus marks what you are going to score in exams. Examiner do ask question in every attempt on service industry. So be prepared. The chapter is very easy, very simple. There are no concepts, simply the total cost divided by my number of units. That's it. So enough of discussion. Still, if you guys are left out with any queries, you guys can please post your queries. Else, I'm done, guys. So thank you so much, guys. God bless you. See you in the coming session with the new chapter. Till then, take care and try to solve all the questions of MTPs, RTPs, practice manual, study material, whatever you have. Don't worry, stick to the concept. You have to calculate the total cost divided by number of units. That's it. Nothing more than that. The point is, yes, sometimes the questions are a bit tricky and weird, but the point is just keep your mind cool and calm. Read the question once, twice, thrice, and then start solving the questions step by step. Once you will start writing the solution, you will get all the answers. That is the key. So thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Have a great day. Yes.